Just like the game I'm playing right now, Minecraft has been a part of me since I was a little kid. I grew up with this game, and in some weird way and some weird shape or form, this sort of game actually helped me a lot in business. Just for context, I'm a 23-year-old millionaire from YouTube and real estate. Still in part-time college because I want a backup plan and enjoy learning, but most of these days I play video games. And so going into Minecraft, it's a game where you can literally do anything you want. It's a world of infinite possibilities, which also means it has infinite choices. If you want to walk in any direction, you can do so. You want to dig any tunnel in any direction, you can do so. You want to build whatever you want, you can do so. Which is kind of the earliest, in my opinion, directions that I ever got, where it genuinely let me do whatever I want. If you think back to when you were a kid, I'm talking like elementary school, right? Where your head is probably bigger than most of your body. But you had this pathway to go through, which was the school direction. It's A to B, pass the test and you go on to the next grade, pass the exam and you go on to the next grade. This was a very A to B to C to D. This pathway was set out for you. But one pathway that wasn't set out for you was in Minecraft, which is what I really resonated with because it's no different to a business. If you guys haven't started your own business, or if you've just looked into it, you'll kind of know that there is no one direction that you can take. There is no single path in business that you can take. There might be generalizations, but whether you take that generalization and go through with it is up to you. You can start a product brand. You can start a product itself. Run maybe a service. I've seen people even run media companies. Or just go down the route of investing. But the world is as open as you make it, no different to the game of Minecraft. This game of mine was something that I've done or played for a really long time, and I've loved every single aspect about it, from the creative side to the exploration, but genuinely the lack of direction could be overwhelming in both fields of business and Minecraft. And learning this at a very young age, I think was very important. And not only important, but empowering. Kind of telling me, like, I can do whatever it is I want. And there is no setbacks. And if something does set me back, it's up to me. I'm the one who makes it a negative thing. Obviously, I didn't know that at the age of like 10. But that wasn't the point. The point was, this was my first time where I had a lack of direction. And I'm happy that I got to experience that so early on. You get to choose what kind of business you start. Same thing as you get to choose what kind of direction you want to take your Minecraft world. And you only progress by taking action. In Minecraft, for you to progress through the world, you don't need to build a base standing completely still. I mean, that's probably impossible. You need to break blocks, gather resources, explore the world that you got trapped into, and test out things. Only then will you be able to build a base, and there's no different to a business. Success never comes from overthinking or standing still. You need to move, you need to build, you need to try, and you need to fail until you finally are able to build what it is you had in mind. Action is what creates that momentum. And a really good example of this would be mining trips in Minecraft. We only ever think of mining trips because we need ores. And ores are required to make upgrades in our tools, our armor, and literally just to progress through the game. But we know that in order to go and progress through the game, which is our end goal, we need to get ores. In order to get ores, we need to go mining. And notice how the mining is the input in this little sequence of events. And so no different to a business. In business, let's say you're doing drop shipping. You trying out and trying to sell a product that you find, that is your input. You do that a couple times, you'll get better and better at it until you reach that end goal of having a thriving e-commerce business running on itself. So this flow of action leads into momentum was achieved at a very young age for me. Even picking up one block Where in the business world, it might be sending one email, sending a message to someone that I looked up to and saw making money online and I wanted to learn from them will get you so much further from standing still. You do not want to get caught standing still in this game because nothing will wait for you. Everyone is moving at 10 times the speed, and sure, it might feel a little overwhelming, but enjoy it. Enjoy the fact that everyone's moving at their own pace, because that means you too have your own pace. The world only loads if you keep moving. This is something that I think isn't talked about enough. This goes back to a point I really like to hone in on some videos when it does apply. But I believe that businesses don't fail. People fail. In a Minecraft world, chunks of your Minecraft world load as you explore it. Standing still keeps your world tiny. You literally don't even generate the chunks, like 5 to 6 chunks in front of you, because it only loads up what's in your render distance, aka what's in front of you. So just like in entrepreneurship, if your journey continues down a path where you're not pushing forward and you stop exploring, the opportunities that you could be getting that you're not going to be open or revealed to may never show up. And so this can come in many shapes or forms. This could come as you not learning a skill, you not networking enough, or you not just putting yourself out there to get in the way of luck or chance. And so this is something that I like to think about a lot. And the flip side is just as real as well. If you stop playing on that Minecraft world does not progress. If you stop working on your business, it's even worse. Instead of not progressing, it degresses. It degenerates. That's even worse. You might lose all your clients. You might get comfortable to the point where you're not even progressing anymore. You're just going backwards. You're losing clients. You're losing income. You're losing momentum. This is something you really should avoid. Grinding genuinely is a real thing, but so is discovery. Both in Minecraft, where mining for hours can feel really boring until you find a set of diamonds, or maybe dungeons. And just like how it is in Minecraft, it's the same for businesses, because a lot of unglamorized grinding is the majority of the quote-unquote gameplay. The systems, the outreach, the learning, the stuff you hire out when you finally get enough money, but a lot of the beginning is usually a lot of grunt work. But once you realize a process and you take some action and you get some results, you discover what actually works. You take what works and create it into systems, and all of a sudden you have a very easy to replicate method on doing this business that you finally got some results from. This is what I like to call a breakthrough. And these breakthroughs can cause you to really 10x, 200x, a million x your business in the long run. But for you to reach that, you do have to break through the point of which you are stuck, which might be you're not putting in the time or effort or the reps or showing up for your own business. Because it's your business, dude. Why are you not showing up to your own thing? You get what I'm saying? Another thing as well is I feel like a lot of people think business is just a lack of creativity, but I don't think so. I think there are aspects of business which lack creativity. I'll give it that. But creativity at the end of the day, I think goes hand in hand with innovation. Business and innovation is an explosive growth metric. And so I think you could be very creative, and Minecraft taught me how to be creative at a very young age as well. Whether it was builds, redstone, which honestly felt like I was engineering at that age, mob grinders, and different ways, I got to learn how to work around the world that was set up for me. Because at the end of the day, there were lines of code, and the lines of codes had limitations, and I had to work around these limitations. No different to a business working around applications, working around systems that are out of your control, and you have to work around them, and you have to figure out problems to solve within your business. No different to you figuring out a video game. And the reason I mention this is after you find those solutions, maybe you have a perfect robotic business, but you lack the innovation. And I think creativity is a way to innovate. So think creatively and think like an innovator, not only trying to compete in your niche, but also trying to improve beyond that, because that's how you'll get crazy results. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys and say it's all glamorized. Obviously, I'm relating it to a video game. So to me, my own businesses feel like a video game. But you might still get bored of it because, as you know, video games get boring too. But eventually, the world starts feeling like it's gotten to a point where you enjoyed it. The building, the surprises, and kind of the story you made. I think this channel lets me talk about the stuff I never got to talk about when it came to this business stuff because I didn't have many people to talk about this with. Businesses can feel like that too. You hit goals, make money, and sometimes feel empty. But this is your dream. You are curating the life that you dreamt of. And if you're worried about fulfillment, you have all the time in the world to find that. You don't have to just find it in business. Fulfillment for me comes from even simple things, like eating a good meal and being grateful that I actually have a meal to eat, right? So there's just different things about it. But this is some of the stuff that Minecraft has taught me throughout the years without me even knowing, and how it relates to business. You start with nothing. You explore, you build, you failed and rebuild. And you eventually look around and realize, damn, this is the output that all of the work I put in for the last few years has come out to. And weirdly enough, that's business. If you guys enjoyed this, feel free to subscribe and join up the Discord if you're interested. Peace.